What if it's a placeholder for something so powerful, so mysterious, that it was deliberately erased from everyday speech, even by those who worshipped it most? Today, millions refer to God simply as Hashem, Hebrew for the name. But what exactly was that name? Why did it disappear? And how did ancient temples, Roman legions, and evolving religious traditions silence it? This is the real story behind Hashem, a journey across Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, guided by archaeology, ancient texts, and deep reverence. No fluff, just facts, brought to you by the Primal Text. Do not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. That's from Exodus chapter 20, verse 7. So what is the actual name? In the Hebrew Bible, God is referred to by a four-letter name, YHWH, known as the Tetragrammaton. Scholars believe it was once pronounced something like Yahweh. But the truth is, no one knows for sure. In ancient Israel, the name YHWH was known and spoken. It actually appears over 6,800 times in the Hebrew Bible, but by the Second Temple period, it had become, well, just too holy to pronounce. Instead, Jewish tradition began to substitute it in speech with Adonai, which means Lord, or sometimes simply Hashem, meaning the name. Only one person was allowed to say the name, the high priest on Yom Kippur in the Holy of Holies, the innermost part of the temple in Jerusalem. And when the Second Temple was destroyed in 70 CE, well, something changed forever. The Romans destroyed the Second Temple in 70 CE during the First Jewish-Roman War. The priesthood was disbanded, the rituals ceased, and with them, the oral tradition of pronouncing the divine name disappeared. From that moment on, no one could say the name because no one remembered how. There was no vowel system in ancient Hebrew, and the precise pronunciation was never written down intentionally. What was once a living, sacred name became a mystery, not forbidden by force, but forgotten by loss. Across the Abrahamic faiths, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, the name of God is approached with deep reverence. In Jewish tradition, the name of God is treated with the utmost reverence. Words like Hashem, which literally means the name Adonai, meaning my Lord, and Elohim are used as respectful substitutes for the sacred Tetragrammaton, YHWH, which is considered, just too holy to pronounce aloud. Even in written form, devout Jews may avoid writing the full name of God, often using forms like GD to show respect. This deep reverence extends into mystical traditions like Kabbalah, where the names of God are not just labels, but powerful conduits of divine energy. Each name is believed to reveal a different facet of God's relationship with the world, from justice to mercy, from concealment to revelation. Hidden within Hebrew letters are believed to be layers of meaning that honestly transcend the literal, pointing to spiritual realities that can't be fully expressed in human language. Christianity, which emerged from Jewish roots, inherited the Hebrew scriptures, but developed its own theological approach to the divine name. In early Greek manuscripts of the New Testament, God is often referred to as Kyrios, meaning Lord, a title that echoes the Jewish tradition of substituting Adonai for YHWH. This title becomes central in Christian liturgy and theology, especially in referring to Jesus Christ, whom Christians believe embodies the divine word. Jesus himself likely spoke Aramaic, and one of the most intimate names he used for God was Abba, meaning Father. It conveyed a sense of both reverence and closeness, suggesting not only God's authority, but also God's accessibility and care. For Christians, this relational approach to God continues to shape prayer and worship, a God who is both transcendent and personal. In Islam, the name of God is Allah, which simply means the God in Arabic, a continuation of the same Semitic root found in El and Elohim. They all come from the same root word, Allah is not a different deity but the same singular eternal creator recognized in monotheistic traditions. The Quran places strong emphasis on the oneness and uniqueness of God, who is, honestly, beyond human comprehension. Muslims believe that while God's essence is ultimately unknowable, God has revealed aspects of himself through 99 beautiful names, each one reflecting a divine attribute. From Ar-Rahman, the most merciful, to Al-Alim, the all-knowing, these names are recited in prayers, meditations and supplications as a means of drawing closer to the divine. Yet even with these names, Islam affirms that no single word, or even all 99 together, can fully capture God's infinite reality. Though Judaism, Christianity and Islam differ in theology and practice, all three Abrahamic faiths share a profound reverence for the name of God. Each tradition emphasizes that God's name is not just a label, but a mystery, a sacred reality that, commands respect, awe, and humility. Whether whispered in prayer, written with caution, or meditated upon in silence, the divine name reflects humanity's enduring quest to know the unknowable, to approach the infinite with both reverence and wonder. Archaeology provides incredible clues about the use and loss of the divine name. The Mesha Stele, dating to the 9th century BCE, contains one of the earliest known references to YHWH. At Kuntilet, Adrud, inscriptions from an ancient desert outpost refer to YHWH of Samaria, even mentioning Asherah, a mysterious female figure possibly linked to early Israelite worship. The Dead Sea Scrolls preserve the Tetragrammaton in ancient scripts, even when the rest is written in Greek. These discoveries confirm that the name YHWH was real, written, and sacred, but, never spoken casually. Today, the silence around the divine name continues. In Jewish tradition, Hashem reminds us that God's essence is really well beyond human language. In Christianity and Islam, God's name is revered, invoked and interpreted, but always held sacred. Some scholars debate whether we should reconstruct the name to preserve history. Others argue that its loss is part of its meaning. After all, perhaps the silence is honestly the point. The name of God may be lost, but not forgotten. It lives in reverence, in silence, and in the countless ways humanity has reached toward the divine. If this kind of interfaith, archaeological storytelling speaks to you, subscribe to the Primal Text for more deep dives into the sacred, the ancient, and the mysterious. And let us know in the comments, should the name of God be rediscovered or left hidden?